Deputy Buckley. Deputy Martin Kenny. 6 minutes.
First of all, I suppose to commend the motion we put before the House this evening, and to also express the solidarity that everyone in the House has with what happened in Donegal. I mean, we had, I think it was a month or something rain fell in 3 hours, and we understand that nobody can prepare for that. And the reality is, and really what has concerned people there, and I spoke to some people who had relatives up there in relation to this, was that they found that there wasn't just as much coordination. And I do understand that the government is saying that there was coordination around all that, but some people on the ground felt their experience was that there wasn't as well coordinated a response as could have been. Now, that's something that can be worked on, and I'm sure it will be worked on in the future. Really, the criticism is that there wasn't some kind of a national emergency plan that could be pulled out quickly and implemented wherever this type of thing happens. And we hope it never happens again anywhere, but unfortunately the likelihood is that it may happen somewhere else again. The issue in regard to insurance is also another problem that I know one of the people I spoke to up there was also talking about, is that as in all cases, and I suppose most people experience it when they have an insurance claim, the first thing the insurance company try to do is wrangle every way possible out of it that they won't have to pay. And some of the people who have seen their lives washed away are experiencing this right now, and they're very angry and very annoyed that insurance company comes out and they start talking about, all kinds of reasons why this isn't covered and that isn't covered, and some of these people are left now wondering, will the government step in, will somebody step in to help them? And that isn't to say that help hasn't come. The Army has come up, helped people clear their houses, done a lot of work for them. Donegal County Council, has been said, has been magnificent in many cases in the work they've done there. The big thing, I suppose, that strikes us all, and I know that Boxamore was in my own constituency and in many places around the country in regard to this, is that when these deluges of rain falls, is to ensure that the water levels in the rivers are at the lowest possible range. And that's one of the problems that we've got. An awful lot of our small drains and rivers around the country have not been cleaned in well, if not centuries, certainly in decades in many cases. And we would encourage the government to try and put a fund in place for local authorities to go out there and clean these small rivers and drains. Because in many of these cases, and I know it was an example was said to me in Donegal, where there was bridges washed away, where the rivers under them hadn't been cleaned in 30 years in some cases. And that's part of the problem, is that if the flow of water was able to get away faster and there was a way of doing that, it would make an awful difference in many of these cases. Finally, I just want to say that the motions that have been put forward here tonight, I expect will be generally supported by everyone in the House, because at the end of the day, we all want to do the same thing. We all want to ensure that we can make sure that we have a provision in place that if this happens again, that we all step up to the mark and that the whole of society will feel better about it. But really and truly, there are problems there that were not dealt with adequately enough. And I think that needs to be acknowledged as well.